Buaji will be presenting a Hindustani bhajan in praise of our mother, and I would be presenting a Tamil bhajan. It will be both Hindustani and Carnatic. The meaning of the Tamil bhajan is all Sahajogis. கூட வேண்டும் கூட வேண்டும் சஹஜ யோகிகள் உலகில் கூட வேண்டும் சஹஜ யோகிகள் உலகில் கூட வேண்டும் சஹஜ யோகிகள் உலகில் பெருக வேண்டும் உன்னருளால்
Please be seated. So nice to see you all here. Yes, now my idea is to have a very informal talk between the mother and the children, you can say. And for that, I was thinking of getting about 5-6 people from various countries to be seated here. And you all, hello, how are you?
Very good,
Good, nice to see you. To ask questions then. And I want to watch what sort of questions you ask, what sort of answers you get. And of course, I'll be able to also answer some of the questions. And how to answer the question of a person who is not yet realized, is half baked, and how to handle the situation. We have to learn. That's very important. Because you have to know that negativity is in complete force all the time, and we have to face the negative ideas, negative people, negative plans. And when they plan, it is necessary, please sit down, all of you. It is necessary for all the Sahajogis that they should be equipped to move forward.
Come forward.
They should be so equipped that they should be able to face sometimes can be many like that. We need who are seekers for the seeking, who have been doing lots of mistakes, who are already conditioned with problems, and it's not easy. That kind of confrontation you get. And also you get some funny sort of people who are in Sahaja Yoga for some time and somehow they cannot manage to get up. Very low graded people, I should say. And you really get disgusted with them. That's the second style of people. Because God's work today is to save as many as possible. That's the work we have to do. But there are all kinds of mental projections and hands up and all that. And the first thing they do to attack is a question. Then there are suggestions. Then there can be actual fighting. I had such a one very recently, which I must tell you, the most interesting one. That's Peggy. And you know Peggy, how she is. Nobody need to worry about her. The kind of a quality she is, we have told her that we don't want her anymore. In Sahaja Yoga, we do not ask people to come. They come to us. We don't force them. And if they are hopelessly bad, we say, all right, we have had enough of it now, please forgive us. And they get out of surgery. Mostly this is how we work out. Because we have to choose. You see, that's what we have to do with people. Because there can be very high quality people. And there can be very cheap type of people. Now, Peggy, everybody knows, has been with us for 5-6 years, and she has been to horrible places, and a funny type of a personality, I don't know. If God has made her, I don't know how He has made her that way. She's been to all kinds of wrong stuff, absolutely horrible things, filthy, dirty. She has been a married woman with 3 children who are realized souls. And our interest was in her about her children, because we knew about her, but her children were very good. And when she came to me, I told her, let's say we can't do much about you, I'm sorry, but in a way, but you have to work hard if you are willing to cooperate. Oh, I'm willing to cooperate, whatever you say, I'll be. Then I discovered that she was actually ill-treating her husband, ill-treating the children. And every time I tried to raise her Kundalini, it was a big elaborating thing. I mean, it's really hard work with such people. I used to say, oh God, next time I hope I don't see her face somehow. It's too much. And the whole attention goes to something so nonsensical and useless person. I mean, that time can give realization to so many people. And she would attract the sympathy of some here and there. Then ultimately, I raised her Kundalini thrice, and I told her, God, trust your realization. But you have to now promise me that you will not ill-treat your husband and not ill-treat your children. She said, Mother, you have to promise me that my realization will be established. I said, all right, promise. But you must promise me this. Start with that one. Imagine to be ill-treating your own husband and your own children. I mean, I have got sufficient time to be with my children, to express my love. And here is a person sitting down quietly with 3 children and just thinking how to torture. A very difficult case I felt with this woman. Very fond of living like a ladylike personality, this, that. But she couldn't do that. Every time her Kundalini fell down. You see, she used to think she's obliging me all the time. That's her funny stuff. And she thought that I have promised her, and how is it not established? And then I think people told her that you better not come to surgery, you are bad enough. She stopped the children, she never brought them. They said, all right. But you see, negativity is such that they know they have no personality otherwise. Without Sahajaga, what is their personality? They are nothing. So she tried to assert herself all the time, and this time she appeared when we had gone, and she just came by herself. I never called her, nor Rita asked her to come, but she was just there. And I asked Rita, how is she here? She said, Mother, she's here because she said, you told her. I said, I? She said, yes, you were in her head told her. I am neither in her heart nor in her head. What am I going to tell her? So she came. Now I found Rita had a weakness for this lady. So something was to be done. Because I wanted to save Rita. My foot went absolutely crazy with this woman. I told Gavin, but divine has its own methods. And she suddenly got exposed completely. And Rita was shocked the way she was. Because she just started fighting with me, absolutely fighting. So good and so shameless. Rita couldn't believe her eyes. So I was very happy in a way. She said, "Oh, it's finished, this book is over." Because she was always pestering me, and I told her that if Mother doesn't want and if it is not allowed, how can I do it? And she always used to say, do this, do that. Now why I am telling you this story is that when she went to India, everybody resisted her, and in India, you see, Sahajogi community, people are very highly developed Sahajogis, and she was literally frightened of them because she was quite aware of her nonsense that she was up to and her cunning and all that. And it came up to this point, the way she behaved there and the way she created scenes and things and all sorts of nonsense, that they said, we are going to book her back. She said, when we throw her in the sea, mother, we can't have her. Now, the main thing we have to understand that how much time do we spend with these people? We must learn how much, we must judge the depth of a seeker. That's very important because we haven't got time to waste much. And if you don't get anybody in England anymore, let's go to India. If not India, let's go to China. We have to gather human beings. We are not bothered to what country they belong. You have to weigh, first of all, equality. And you'll find, you'll be amazed, those people who you think to be very much qualified, you'll find them useless people. And the divine will not help you. The best part of it, the divine will not help you. It will be angry with you for wasting your time on such a person. And as you will be growing, you will develop this discrimination within yourself and you will understand. You will not waste your energy with someone like that. All this idea of being kind to everyone is not for us. We have to be kind to ourselves and to God. And all such useless people have to go out of the circulation of evolution. Absolutely, there is no doubt. And this is what I want to tell you, that today I want you to ask the questions. That's important. And when you ask the questions, I'll see how you will answer. Now, to be positive, a person has to see how the question is asked and how it is answered. It's not a question of your mind, it's a question of spirituality. The question is from spirituality to spirituality. It's not from one mind to another mind. And I would like to see that, how it works out with Sahajogi. Because I know you are people of very high quality. And that's how I know all this great work is being done. In one day I've seen people have come up so much. They have come up so much, they have gone so much up, and they have done so much. But there are some who are struggling and they cannot come. Some people don't feel vibration, doesn't matter. You don't feel vibrations constantly. Maybe some physical problem is there, some sort of a problem is there. But the main thing is the attitude of a person is important. And negative people are there to take our time, to divert our attention. They'll go into tantrums, they'll show off, they'll do this, they'll do that, and they'll try to divert our attention to them. Attention from the spirit, attention from our ascent, attention from our work, that is so important, the emancipation of the whole humanity. So we must understand that our lives are valuable lives. We are Sahajogis. We are workers of God. Our Kundalini has arisen. We are realized souls of a very high quality, and we have not to waste our energy with people who do not deserve our attention. That's very important. Between you and me, I'm telling you this story. It's alright what I do. It's different. I play quite a lot of things with that. And I see to it that they get out. But you please don't waste your energy. If you find somebody difficult, funny, better give up that. Now with this idea, we have about one person from every country. We'll sit down here and I would like to see. And you should all ask questions. Questions, not material, but about Kundalini, about what answer to be given. Because now as you are all going in the fields, you know people ask you questions and what questions they ask and how to answer these questions, so we can sort it out just now. Because sometimes they can be so aggressive that you can be just dumbfounded. But as I said, after a certain time, you should just give them up as lost. It's not our responsibility to give realization to everyone. It's not expected. It's only those who deserving it. It's the deserving quality of people that's important. If they are not deserving, we are not interested in them. We are sufficient already. Better, I always say that those people who are to enter into the kingdom of God should only enter, and not every Dick, Tom and Harry. It's important. So those people who cause problems, just do it because to attract our attention. And Saj Yoga, as it is very different from other so-called organizations of God. Here the genuineness is judged by vibrations and by attitude of it. You have to be extremely positive. I've seen even some cancer patients who came to Saj Yoga are so very positive. Surprising. And some people, for nothing at all, they're wasting your time and energy. So the interest should be for the people who are of quality, and not for people who are just wasting our time and energy. It's a kind of an ego within us that I think that we try to correct people who are good for nothing. Kill them. It's alright, they are hard nuts. Why should we break our teeth for that? This is what I want to tell you. After this experience now, Rita has taken a vow that she'll have nothing to do with pegging. She always used to peg her down to me every time. Rita used to telephone to me about her. She used to tell me, Mother, please look after her. All the Sahajogis are bad with me. Especially, she said, people have told her off and she cannot come to the program. And that's how it was. So thank God now she's corrected. I tried my own ways. But you can directly understand, and you know that. You know in your heart who is settled, who is not settled. You know it very well about everyone. You are quite capable. But if you try to be extremely now, let it be, it's alright. They are no good. They can never come up. So why waste your energy? Simple thing is like, if whether you are good or bad, or if you are hard to them, they are just the same. As such, you is here to realize our position. The work is very important. It's not we are here for England or America or for China. We are for the whole. Wherever we get people of that quality, we are going to collect and decamp. Alright? Now, so I would say that we get some people here, like from every country that you be there.
Well, maybe Brian could come first.
Brian also. No, Brian should ask questions first of all. Then I'll put you down in his place and Alright, then Gabi, you come along from England. You have to answer. Everybody has to answer because it's a one after. Then I think Steve can come from America. Marie can come from France. Marilla, you come from Switzerland. Alright. Now nobody is high or low. See the ask questions that have to be asked. Need not be answered. It cannot be answered, one should not. But any one of you can answer the question. Answer. Now there are so many intelligent and intellectuals and overeducated people sitting here. The ones who have to ask the question are always better placed than the people who have to answer. Right? So, in a way, I would like to see how the questions are asked and what answer is given. I would like to see the game. Alright.
Cup of tea. Could one of the ladies get Mother a cup of tea?
Yesterday's speech was really good. Yes, come on. Now, there are great intellectuals listening. Be careful, alright. So we are very friendly and nice. Who else from which countries? Yes, Spain.
Robert's from Belgium.
Is he there, Robert? Is he? Oh, wait, come on. So happy to know what you have done. Really remarkable. I must really say, Roberts, I really say, what a man. What a man. Gardens? I'm very proud.
My ego didn't allow me to go into that.
That's it. So ego is the same one. That should be the right type of ego. that ego is a better type when you question the wrong type of person. But that ego which questions the right type of person is a stupid ego. Because it has no sense, it has no wisdom. But you see, for me to come, it's hell that is to come out of heaven. He's sickening, he sickens people. Most of the people whom I know who were thinking about, say, in the beginning of it, they are not stable metastatic, most of them. Or down with cancer, another thing I must say. Those now they are, at least in years now, down with cancer.
I saw pictures of him, recent pictures, and he wears
Gloves?
Yes, he wears now gloves. And a big woolen, I don't know. I think he's freezing. He started to. But I had to vomit from these pictures.
Let him not die, because otherwise he'll be more troublesome. So. Alright, now, so please make yourself comfortable. Now you sit down. Now, most of the people who are real surgeons should ask questions and not those who are yet to be informed as surgeons. Alright? Because they still, I know, they have to reach a certain stage of understanding. Alright, from surgery zone. Don't become thoughtless here.
Not mind to mind.
Alright, not mind to mind, alright. But let the inspiration come. But it will be only communicated through a thought. So in every day-to-day life, when you have been facing other people in Sahaja Yoga, you should ask questions about that. What happened? What questions they asked? What was the problem? So for this why I'm thinking not to do that. Alright? Because you see it's now you should say it there. Would be nice expressions. Alright? 3 on this side and 3 on it. I'm the 7th one. Let's have it now. That's it. That's a good idea. Now come along. Yes, say?
What would you say to somebody who comes up to you and says very concernedly, what is the difference between Sahaja Yoga and these?
What is it?
What is the difference between what you're doing and what these cults or these other gurus are doing? They all seem to say the same thing. I mean, they do.
They are using the same language.
Using the same language.
See, because in 1970 I was in America, they have picked up everything. And a gentleman told me, warned me. He told me, mother, you better get all your tapes. What do you call them? Copyrights. See? I said, what? They said, no, these audio birds, vibrations, they started being used by these people, chakras, and
Yeah.
this is very good. But ultimately they have to come to deeper realization. But they are losing the same. I mean, it doesn't matter. Now, tell me, what's the difference between the technique of Sahaja Yoga and the technique of these people? They use the same words. Now let's have one person who warrant.
Well, the basic difference, I feel, Mother, is that in Sahaja Yoga, it's not the promise of an experience, it's the actualization. Something actually happens in the presence of Mataji or other realized souls, and you get it.
But they also get experiences.
They get an experience.
They get experience.
Now, now let's see.
One thing that you can explain is whether they keep the freedom of the individual or whether the individual is actually maneuvered. And you can explain.
No. That how you can mesmerize, you will not try mesmerize.
Yeah, if you're inside, you don't know. But if you look from outside and you're asking, you can ask the people to see, how does it work? Do you feel that these people are free in what they're doing? Do you feel that they're doing it of their own free will? Do they look like individuals? If you go there, are you taught to think for yourself? And is it something where your freedom is respected? Because a lot of the other ones, you can explain that to people, is that people are taken in charge, and they're taken in charge morning till evening, and even during the night, they're never left alone, and they do this, do that, sing and pray and do whatever, and it never stops. And they're actually made to fit into a mold. Once they're nicely shaped, they can't get out of it.
I mean, they don't understand what they are doing.
Eventually they don't. They're fitted into something, and it's some weakness from the left side which makes them want to be led. And it's something that you still find inside yogis. If you look carefully in yourself, we've all still got that. And we've all got to be careful of it. Because it's still there, this tendency to want to fit into an organization. Be a something, tag. And not be who you are. And go through with it. Go look at yourself and go through with it. And that's the way it works. People are told that you know, it's going to be nice and all this and all that. But basically they're taken in charge. And then they don't think for themselves. And the language, yes, is correct, but you have to see the results. And if you want facts, there's plenty of facts, and there's people who've got files, I mean, wall full of files on what happens to people who are in there, and what state they're in if you manage to get them out, if ever. Now that's where the difference is.
It's very vague, you know. It's not very different. It's rather vague, I should say. All right, let's see. What question you have to say?
There are 2 points that we usually make. One is that you can't pay for it, and you don't pay for it. And this is especially comes up in America because there are people who are used to paying for absolutely everything. You go to this introduction or that introduction, $5 right away. It's not like over here. So that's something that attracts a lot of people if they're used to paying for things, if they're, you know, if this is the sort of way over there, and you say you cannot pay for it, we won't accept payment. In fact, it would be somewhat of an insult because it's your own birthright.
But that's the gross. But what happens in the subtle?
Suddenly,
In the subtle way.
suddenly the Kundalini is aware, and the great thing about that is that you become collectively conscious, which is something that can't be faked. You cannot fake collective consciousness. And it's very simple. You can give an example. If you blindfold several children and you have them who are realized, and you have them try the vibrations of somebody, they'll all feel the same thing. And children don't fake, and everybody knows that. If they try the vibrations of somebody else, they'll feel something different. So this is an important distinction to make.
Now let's have your answer, Tony. You covered quite, I think she's covered quite right in this. Let's have your answer.
I think the most important thing about Sahaja Yoga is not what experience it gives you, though. I mean, that you get. But what you have to tell people who ask what's the difference is what do the disciples become, what powers do they get, and what experience can they give to other people. Because without the capacity to enlighten others, who is to say whether they've got any enlightenment at all? So this is the
an
guideline.
Identity. Now what about you? Thank you.
Maybe another point also, if Sahaja Yoga is truth, the truth is eternal. So you must also be able to relate it with all the scripture, to know who Christ was, to know who Muhammad, who Buddha was. And nobody can tell you in this group and make relationship where they are in, how you can invite them into you. And not only about the great prophet, but also even with everything, nature, music, science, astrology. Everything is related to Sahaja Yoga because there's synthesis of everything. And we can even see this. Everything is part of it.
What do you have to say?
What Gavin said, that in other sects they don't get real powers. Actually, I experienced that they get powers. They can put boots in. Yes, absolutely. But what can we say then? Use your common sense. Go and see in these sects. I don't know if it's intelligent to say that to seekers. I experienced a tremendous destroying force because when I met Mother, first of all, I got on my stomach something coming out, dirt coming out, in the skin. That was a proof that negativity came out, that something happened, that something really happened in me. Actually, I had not such a proof in these sects. I only got into their catastrophical thing.
Are you not a long time again?
I was not so 5 months. So I felt also another thing, the fact that Mother is so elusive for seekers. That's a good one. The fact that Mother is doesn't possess really, because I was so greedy. I remember the first time I met you, it was great. The second program, you didn't look at me.
You're very clever.
You are very clever.
Only Mother made the
So
sun
where
come
does
out.
the cleverness comes there, huh? All right. Now, after all this thing, I would like one of you to answer this question. Anyone? Let's have. Bala, come on. Let's have your answer. Roxana. Let's see. Come up here, let's see. Yeah.
Well, I think the point Gavin
brought up is relevant. But what you can tell them is, if you get a power, if it's boots, alright, it makes you feel powerful. But in Sahaja Yoga, you can actually raise other people's Kundalini. And you can empower them with the ability to raise Kundalini. For instance, for me, the proof was I stood behind some new person. I just told him, sit in front of this photograph. I didn't explain anything. I stood behind him and I started moving as Mother had showed us in Gavin's house. And things started happening to him, and he began to feel within him things happening, and he felt his Kundalini rising, and he began to feel the joy. And I think that is the most important thing, that you can transmit this awakening to other people and raise their Kundalini, rather than just feeling a power in you, something which could be boots. And I don't know if boots can do that.
All right. Thank you very much. Now, you see, always the artificial has to copy the real. It's always so. Artificial has to copy the real, otherwise it won't stand. Of course, outwardly in the gross we can say that artificial can say the real is spontaneous. Artificial can put up a show, the real does not. The artificial is more earnest because it has to sell, while the real is least bothered, as he said about me, is correct. But beyond that, how to make out an artificial from the real is the problem, because they have the same style of thing, and these people say that we are doing the same thing, we are having vibrations, we have energy, we are raising the Kundalini, everything. Now the best thing would be to be extremely practical. First of all, you must judge whether they are seekers or not. Then you should see what chakras are catching. See, you move on another line. They move on another line because you are empowered. So you just see what chakras are catching on them. If you answer them directly, they will come out with another answer. So when they say something to you, you must know that if they are boots and they are possessed and they know your boots also, not only that, but they can read your mind. That's one of the powers of boots. Because they can live on mental level, they can live on the physical level, they can live on other levels like, see whatever past you have had, they can tell you your future. They can have to go up to that. They can tell about your future, they can tell you about past, they can tell you about your mental problems, your brother, father. They may even tell you where you have lost your properties or where you have kept your ornaments and who is the thief. All these things they can tell. Because their interest is material, so they know everything about it and they can tell you. Now you are facing a person like that. So he reads your mind, alright. So when you confront such a person, to deal with a person is to just get quiet, get into your thoughtless awareness. Your fortress is your thoughtless awareness because you are real. And try to see his Kundalini. Try to raise it. And say where it stops. Now, he says, why don't you answer? He said, I'm still, let me hear you. I have to hear you. Alright. So show all the patience now. Try to raise it. Now, if the Kundalini, see, absolutely useless, doesn't rise, you should say, alright, I give up. Finish. Nothing more. our real nature, as he said, illusion. There is a word for the goddess, is Nirmama. She doesn't get attached to anyone. She cannot. If she is the energy for the whole universe, how can she get attached to anyone, any person? Only she can nourish. And the nourishment can only go if the person is willing to take the nourishment. You are on the giving stage, you are not on the taking stage. If the other person doesn't want to have it, you can't open the mouth and pour it in the mouth. So, when such a question comes in, you just get into your meditative mood. And you'll be amazed the dynamism of the spirit will be there at that time. Now maybe it stops at Nabi. Supposing the question at Nabi stops the right. So, you know he has a liver patient. Alright. You can ask him questions about liver. You'll be amazed that you know that he has a liver patient. It stops at right heart. You just ask him the question about the right heart. You just tell me these things, then I'll tell you what is it. Like, I'll tell you Douglas. Douglas is not such an intellectual, thank God. And David Prowse, he just saw my photograph into contortions. And he telephoned in the ashram and Douglas received me. He said, who are you? He said, I'm Douglas, I'm a Sahajogi. Really, what this Sahajoga is? He said, by the way, are you perspiring too much? He said, yes, I'm boiling talking to you. He said, that's it. Have you been to TM? I said, yes. How do you know? I know because the chakras are catching. I said, surprising. These people out there. Then he slowly came home and Rustam opened the book. I think he took my name or I think he took the name of the goddess or whatever it is. And he just went into contortions again. He said, what have you started? And actually, he got frightened, Rustam, and he telephoned to me, mother, what's happening to you? I just said, what's your name? So your powers are divine powers. Never forget that. On arguments, then once you have given them realization, then start your arguments. But you can do it with your attention. You give them realization and then the arguments can be given. Because when I am discussing with them, actually I am raising their kundalini. Outwardly I am discussing. Yes, everybody thinks mother is talking with them. But sometimes, but I am really raising their kundalini inside. So, first of all, try to raise their kundalini because that is what. Now you know for definite what is the difference between the real and the unreal. That unreal is that a myth that this is a snake, is a myth. But when the light comes in, you know it is not. That the light has come in. Even small children, as they said, they know. You have got your own powers, no doubt about it. You can raise your kundalini, no doubt about it. You can raise others' kundalini, no doubt. You can cure people, no doubt. For that, if you have to give example, I have cured. Even the president. Now, even that may not satisfy me. Then, coming to the mental side of it, how you have achieved, you have given up all your habits and you have become a better person. While people who belong to another cult, they do not give up any habits. On the contrary, they become just slaves. Just slaves. They are not independent. As she said, that they are not individuals. They become all slaves together and they behave. Collectivity to them is just slavery. Apart from that, your knowledge is tremendous. You know why you do puja, you know why you make mantras, you know what mantras to say, when to say, how to raise it, and the whole science. Even their guru's guru will never do the science at you. all the technique in the Malavidya, you know. So, all the points that they said, that you have your own powers, you can ask them, can you feel me? Yes, yes, they are feeling very hot. That's all. But you should say, I am feeling you. You have been to such and such group. Then, your power to give him realization. Also, later on, can be told and shown how you give realization. You should say, now you try to give me realization. You say, alright, you give me realization. I said, I can't. Alright, I will give you. Will you allow me? Supposing he accepts this. Finished, then he is finished now. Once he is realized, then he won't talk. So you have to be very understanding of the situation, that first of all you are a realized soul, you have your own power, the whole divine is behind you. Don't forget. With all confidence, just face the person. First go into meditative mood, gather up all your powers. And see that you raise his kundalini. Bring him to some point of rapport. Then these points, one by one, as this may be, you suggest, which they have suggested are alright. But before raising them, discussion will lead to discussion. And it's a headache. I just do it because I don't get a headache. But you people don't do it. Have nothing to do with the people who cannot be brought to a certain level of understanding. And they themselves will be impressed by your personality, by your methods. In your quiet way, you should say, what's this? Like that. You won't say yes, yes. So you think that he's impressing you, also you are listening to him. That also pleases them quite. Then now, let me see, where is the kundalini? Let me see. See, go around him. Alright, now say what you want to say. Again say, I am not to hear. And at the back, raise it. Because if you cannot take out something in straightforward ways, you have to put your finger in a roundabout way to take it out. Even then, if the kundalini doesn't want to rise, we have nothing to do with such horrible people. So, first of all, you must just as a person raise his kundalini, work it out. And then once he has got it, then alright, Ray? You know the technique. Second question. So everyone, whatever they have said, correct and first class. As he has said it, Warren is very correct. And all these points must be brought in. But when you have brought them to a certain level of establishment, otherwise they will be just nodding their heads or they will be denied. You both are useless. Because definitely you know your knowledge. Now, second question.
त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती महाकाली त्रिगुणात्मिका कुंडलिनी साक्षात् श्री आदि शक्ति माता जी श्री त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री आदि शक्ति माता जी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री सहस्रार स्वामिनी मोक्ष प्रदायिनी माता जी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः।
मंगल अमंगल हारने दयाले जय दुर्गे जगदम्बे भवानी जय दुर्गे जगदम्बे भवानी भवानी भवानी
Gavani